My 38M wife 34F has been cheating on me for more than a year with her childhood love. After me helping her through her depression for over a year. Story 1. I'm not using my actual user for this, but I feel a need to share my story. I've talked to close friends about it, my family. But hoping to get some advice and insights on here too. I know the Reddit community is also a wholesome place. So here goes. We've been together for 16 years, married for about 6. We have 2 small kids younger than 6 years old. For the past 2+ years I've been dragging her through a depression. She hasn't had an easy life, and there were periods when her darkest thoughts crossed her mind. But we got through each time. The day of our marriage was bliss, and we were so much in love. After the birth of our second child though she started changing. Going back to the person she was as a teen. Dark, moody, short-tempered. I noticed this a bit late, since I was mostly busy with our kids. And had a talk with her. At first she didn't need anything, stating that she was just tired, and life's burden was a bit much. But as time moved on she declined rapidly. About a year ago she admitted having plans to commit suicide. She did not go through with them because of our kids, and I took it upon myself to keep helping her through this. Even taking in some of the blame for her suffering. I went to a psychologist myself, and tried to remain strong. Some time ago we had a discussion as to where our relationship was going. There were good fun period, and then times where we wouldn't even talk. At that moment she admitted that she wasn't happy anymore, and didn't want to continue our marriage. So that was the first hit I took, and it was rough. So many thoughts racing through my head. About the kids, our house, my future, her depressed state. We argued, we talked, we made practical decisions. Up until about a week ago. I kept wondering what had happened that made her want to leave her family. I straight up asked her if there was anyone else. Now this is the part that hit me the hardest, and I have no clue how to proceed with it next, to some advice from friends and family. She was seeing someone else, also a guy who's married and even has a small child, apparently born during the affair with my wife. Now as hard-hitting as all this is, I started looking into it. And this guy is someone she hooked up with in her teens. This was also a period where she was in a really dark place, and he even stalked her for some time. It now appears he never gave up, and found her in her weakened state and started to take advantage of her. I'm not looking for a redeeming factor to save our marriage, that's over. I am looking for ways to process this for myself, and maybe to loosen his grip on her so it doesn't affect our kids. Het has manipulated her, has no intention of starting a relationship, but only uses her for sex. He doesn't speak to her for ends on time, but she is on his beck and call. When he ignores her she goes into a downward spiral, when he acknowledges her she's happy. Well, not really, but that's how it seems. For the moment we're still living together, trying to take all the steps to end our marriage and move out. But I need a way to cope with this, with the fact that her depression is fed by him, that he's been to our house, and that he used my wife for over a year. Redditors' reactions. Redditor 1, paternity test, STD test, divorce lawyer, and therapist. Redditor 2, I don't think she's stable enough to raise children, and so I hope you're going to have them after the divorce. You should go to therapy and your children should, just in case. Story 2. Cheated on my husband of 10 years. Drunk one night stand. Immediately confessed. Feeling lost. We had been drinking at home and got into an argument. I went to the bar by myself to clear my head. Immediately approached by a guy and we started talking. I told him I was married. We spent several hours talking, drinking, and then had sex. I was very, very wasted. I don't remember the details of it at all. I walked in the door and immediately told my husband, which I also don't really remember. I am remorseful. He wants to forgive me. It's just not that easy. We love each other, and our marriage isn't perfect, but we were always working to make it better. Now that I've done this, it's just so much worse. He bounces back and forth between feeling sad, insecure and needed my love and affection, and being extremely angry with me. I bounce back and forth between trying to forget it ever happened, which given my lack of memory from the night is actually easy to do, and getting very depressed over the hurt that I've caused him and the overwhelming self-hatred I feel. I just don't know why I did it. I have excuses, but nothing that would ever justify my actions. I don't know how to help us heal. I don't know if I deserve his forgiveness. We already see therapists individually. We plan to go together. It's been 2 weeks. We have a daughter together. Help. Edit to add, thank you to everyone who responded. I won't be able to check this post again for a while, but I'm appreciative of the tough love, advice, and reading materials. I know this sub is full of a lot people who have been hurt by a shoals like myself, and I know your inclination is to hate me, but thank you for helping me. Redditor's reactions. Redditor 1, what are you doing to help your husband deal with your cheating? Are you transparent with social media and electronics? Do you make sure that he knows where you are and what you are doing? Have you apologized? Are you willing to apologize every time your husband is having a difficult time with dealing with his cheating wife? You don't go to a bar to get clear-headed. You go to drink and socialize. It sounds like you don't take enough blame for your actions. This didn't just happen. You decided to go to a bar instead of a friend's house, church, library, coffee shop, etc. You decided to talk and flirt with another man. You decided to continue to drink. You decided to kiss. Then G-ope. Then go to his house or car, and then you decided to remove clothing. At any time you could have stopped, but you didn't. You destroyed the marriage you had. Now it's up to you to do the very hard work of rebuilding. This will take years to rebuild what you destroyed. It may be too much work, especially if you are already complaining about how difficult this situation is. Redditor 2, everything you mentioned behavior-wise is typical. You violated him and your relationship in the most vile and selfish way possible. His entire world just came crumbling down around him. Expect the emotional roller coaster, and he has that right. There are a few starter packs on here, check the sidebar for this, that can help you both. Just remember, this isn't going to be an easy process for either of you, and that 10 years you had is gone. The relationship you're forged with always be D-Day plus. That isn't to say you can't recover, and have a happy and healthy relationship. It's that this is a new origin point for you. If you love him and want this to work, you have a long journey ahead of you. The first would be to find resources to help you understand each other. Good luck. Redditor 3, first, for your daughter's sake, remove her of the marriage equation. She shouldn't be considered as a reason to stay with your husband. Second, you can't justify because it can't be justified. Third, you have to give up booze. Stop it. Join the A and become sober. Fourth, you have to expose yourself, with his agreement, to your family, and tell them you betrayed him, and you are both working to build a new relationship, and thank them for their support. I said a new relationship, because your previous one is dead. Redditor 4, the fact you told him right away makes your mistake hopeful. I'm so glad you didn't deceive your husband. Someone who cheats one time and immediately comes clean is quite a bit easier to forgive than a serial cheater, liar, gaslighting abuser. It goes without saying that it's still an awful situation, and I hope you both are going to go to marriage counseling. It will take him a while to get over it. The best thing my husband did to help me regain his trust very, very slowly, and it's still an ongoing process, is immediate and total transparency.